I used to love Christmas. It was my favourite time of the year. And as my debt grew into the thousands and the tens of thousands, the enjoyment just sort of left. And I thought to myself, oh, maybe that's just adult life. You don't enjoy Christmas anymore. But I think I was wrong because I'm determined to enjoy Christmas this year. Last year, I spent £400 on an Apple Watch for a gift. I put it straight on a credit card. I couldn't afford that at all. I bought gift vouchers of £50 to £100 for people as presents. I spent hundreds on the children. My partner did too, and we couldn't afford it. I'm going to put an end to that right now. And I wish I'd told myself years ago that I didn't have to have Christmas like that. But I suppose now, at least, I'm starting now. So this year, I've made myself a Christmas budget. I've put categories on there for myself: gifts, food, miscellaneous, events. And me and my partner have set ourselves a budget of £600. And that's to cover all of Christmas.
What is going on, guys? JC Nita here. With the holiday season in full swing, or at least right around the corner, I thought it'd be very appropriate to cover the topic of holiday doom spending.
I saw an article that said 25% of Americans are still paying off Christmas from last year.
Oh my gosh.
While simultaneously plan on spending more this year.
This year just keeps going.
And so I find that to be very interesting. So, Rachel, I'm going to hit you with a couple of facts.
Okay.
And I want you to react. Okay. And let's get into this. So the stats say that on average, Americans are going to spend $875 on Christmas. And that kind of shakes out to a little over $600 on gifts for immediate family, coworkers, then another around $200 on decorations, miscellaneous things, and then another $100 on just kind of random, that guy over there needed a gift kind of thing.
Okay.
What do you think about that number?
It doesn't sound terrible to me.
I thought it would be more.
Yes, I would have thought at least 1,200. In my head, I thought it'd be over 1,000. For the average family, that's not just Christmas gifts. This is the whole holiday season.
This is the holiday season.
Yeah.
And part of me goes, okay, $875. Couldn't we have stacked up a little money throughout the year to make that happen?
I know.
So let's take a look at the comments to see what some of the people are saying in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you were shocked by that number. $875 is the average spent by Americans on not just gifts, but the holiday decorations and everything else involved. So the first comment I see here says a tree alone is $300. I think they have the stats wrong. So personally speaking, I'm not spending $300 on a tree. I'm sorry. Call me Scrooge, call me the Grinch, call me whatever you want to call me. $300 on a tree? I think not. But let's see, let's keep going. The second comment says 800 seems small, question mark. 800 barely covers my 3 kids, husband, and I. Another person says, I spend $1,200 on gifts and I don't have kids. And the skull face emoji. But yes, I do budget for it, and no, do not go into debt for it. So this person does not go into debt for it, but still dropping $1,200 on Christmas gifts to me seems a bit much. And I'll give my opinion on why later on in the video. Let me know what you think. Is $1,200 a lot? Is $800 a lot? Do you budget for holiday gifts? And if so, how much do you spend on average? What do you think a reasonable number is? One person writes, I would never put Xmas gifts on a credit card. So good for them. Neither would I. Well, actually I would. That's a lie. I will put them on credit cards, but I have the cash already on hand to pay them off right before the end of the month or at the end of the month. But I'm never going to finance Xmas gifts.
If you set aside $200 every single month from July to November, you'll have $1,000 to spend by the time we get to holiday season and Black Friday. I've gotten so much better at not chronically overspending all of the time, but I do have some pitfalls here and there, and one of those is the holiday/gifting season. This year, we are not going to be using our credit cards. We are not going to be relying on Afterpay in order to buy all the gifts for everyone that we want, including ourselves. No, we are going to have some money set aside. We're going to have cash on hand. So if you want to save any of these amounts by the time we get to gifting season, every single month starting in July and ending in November, you should set aside this amount of money. Honestly, throughout the year, if I ever see something that I think someone I know would really love to have, I'll buy it for them and then I'll just hold on to it until an occasion arises or it's their birthday or something relevant happens where I can give it to them. If not, I just have it until I reach Christmas time. But without fail, even if I have items already stockpiled for Christmas, I still want to shop. I still want to add. So making sure I have a savings account or a cube or a bucket designated for gifting season and filling that with monies that I can then use guilt-free at the end of the year. Perfect.
I really want to come down on this person about this, but I'll be fair. At least she's budgeting for it, okay? She's budgeting for it. It seems like she's using cash, putting cash aside for gifts. And that makes a lot of sense. Instead of waiting till the last minute when things are going to be more expensive anyways, because everyone's rushing to buy things, she already has stockpiled gifts throughout the year. She set cash aside for those gifts. And even if she didn't buy them throughout the year, she has cash set aside for the holiday rush. So kudos to her for that. She also mentioned something I liked a lot. She said that she stacks up gifts for occasions that she didn't say this exactly, but essentially that means something. And to me, that's important because part of me is like, during the holiday season, we're all pretty much just exchanging money. We're all giving gifts out of obligation because that's what marketing tells us to do. That's what tradition tells us to do. And again, it's all, not to sound like a Scrooge again, but this is all built upon the spending economy that the US has become. Consumerism is king in the US. And so now with all these holidays, they've gotten away from their original meanings and spending time together, even to exchanging of gifts, especially for Christmas. So, you know, for me, part of me has a aversion to it, I'll be honest. But like I said, at least she's budgeting for it. At least she's using cash. And for the most part, giving people gifts throughout the year when it means something. Like she said, maybe it's their birthday, maybe something happened. Maybe they just had a baby. And so she's giving them gifts that are more meaningful than just, hey, here you go. It's the holiday season. This is what I'm supposed to do.
All right, let's do some Christmas shopping, shall we?
Here's the gift that your kid wants. Give me $500 right now. $500? I don't have that kind of money. My kids are going to grow out of this pretty quickly. They're going to throw this away in about 6 months. If you love your children, you will give me the money right now. Not something that my kids really need. It's just something that their friends tell them that they have to have. Sounds like someone doesn't love their kid. I set the price and you will pay whatever price I say. What is wrong with you? Why are you forcing kids to pressure their parents? The price is $1,000 now. You're going to keep complaining? I'm the only one who makes it. You pay anything that I want. Merry Christmas to you too.
Okay, so what is the theme of this video? The theme of this video to me, let me know what you think, is that, again, it goes back to that consumerism economy, that consumerism culture that we have in the US. And it starts early. It starts with your kids. They see TV commercials and they see these things online and it's push, push, push. And now they're coming to you because they want the newest gadget, the newest thing. And now you're in a position to where you don't want to disappoint your kids, so you want to go out and buy those things for them. And now that from an early age gets them started in that consumer culture. And that's what this parody was about. These parents are looking at this like, my kid, I have a nephew, and my sister buys him all kinds of toys, not as much as she could. And then whenever I'm over and I'm playing with him, I notice he doesn't play with the toys to begin with. He plays with the dirt on the ground. He plays with the lint on the floor. He plays with the dust in the corner. He plays with, you know, the lid to the Tupperware. He doesn't care about the toy to begin with. Yet you just spent how much money on that toy? So to me, again, not to sound like I don't like the holiday, I don't like giving gifts. That's not it. I like giving gifts that are meaningful. But I'm so against the idea of buying something just because some company put an advertisement out that tells you you need to. So I get it. I don't have a kid, so maybe it'll change when I do. A parent might say, you don't know how it is when your kid comes to you and they want this thing, you say no and they cry and all that. Okay, maybe that's the case. But what I like to think of is I would like to think that I would be able to tell my kid, listen, what's more important, of course, not in an adult way, in a kid way, depending on how old they are, is experiences, spending time with your friends, spending time with your family, and building those connections. Not to say I won't buy them any gifts, but I don't want to make that the focal point. And so I thought this was a pretty good skit or parody to highlight that. So again, let me know what you think in the comments about this. Let's take a couple look at the comments here, actually. So I think this comment is very appropriate. Someone says, the anxiety and shame I had as a young mother with no money around Christmas. I'm still paying the credit card debt over a decade later. This comment actually makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad because that money that she's paying off in interest on debt could be used to do so much more for her kid. And she probably got that debt. I don't know what it's on. Is it on toys? Is it on something that the kid no longer uses? Is it on clothes they didn't need that they've now grown out of? So, and why did that happen? She felt bad because her kid wanted it. The kid saw some advertisement. Maybe they saw their friend that had the toy. So now she felt like she had to go and buy it. And now she's paying that debt with interest for that purchase she made who knows how long ago. At least a year ago, because this would have been the last holiday season or further back. And so that goes to show if we can shake this consumer culture, shake this consumer mentality that we have in the US, I think that we'd all be in much better positions.
Tallied up how much I want to spend this Christmas, and it's somehow still come to £460. What the hell? Christmas is the worst time of year. Honestly, it's so expensive. As someone who is trying to pay off as much debt as possible by the end of 2024, I have found a really simple, free Christmas budget tracker on Excel, which I'm going to put in my bio. This is just a free Microsoft template that I downloaded and made look a little bit pretty. So here is my really easy budgeting spreadsheet. This is my absolute maximum budget that I can afford to spend, and then I've broken that budget down per person. You can also break it down by specific present, which obviously I will be able to fill in once I've actually started buying Christmas presents. This column here is really important because it shows my actual spend. So obviously once I know exactly how much I spend, including postage, minus any discounts, this column I can update accordingly. If I go over budget, for example, I spend £40 extra on my mum, then it will flash red like this, and the formula will make it really obvious that I've gone over budget. This little bar at the top also shows you how much of your budget you've spent. If you were to go over budget, it obviously will show you how much and what percent you've gone over by. It will also show you the same if you've gone massively under budget. It shows you how much you've saved. This might be the most simple budget in the world, but if it gets me through the Christmas period without spending too much money, then it might end up being an absolute lifesaver. And the best part is it cost me absolutely nothing.
Okay, good on her for creating a budget and trying to stick to that budget for her gifts. But I'll be honest, if she's in debt and her focus is paying off that debt and is stressing her out, I don't think she should be buying gifts at all. Ever thought about, again, why must there be a gift exchange? And I don't want to make it sound like buying gifts is a bad thing. I'm not a greedy person. I like to help people out. I like to help people out when it's meaningful. But just exchanging a gift in the holiday season when everyone's expecting it, half of the time it's a gift card. Why not we all just come together and enjoy each other's company? Especially if you're in a situation where you're paying off a bunch of debt. Why put yourself in a further, well, maybe she's not going into a further hole. She's just taking money that she could use to pay her debt off faster and putting it towards buying gifts. No, use that money towards paying off your debt. To me, it's a no-brainer. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I off here? These are my thoughts.
We're paying for all of our Christmas gifts this year using only the interest that our high yield savings account has earned this year. And I haven't seen anybody else talk about this, but I feel like it is such a life hack because this literally feels like all of my Christmas presents are free. This year alone, my high yield savings account has earned over $1,300 in interest. So it's been about like $200 a month that gets put into this account. And instead of taking that money out of the account, I leave it in the account and put it in a specific designated spot that says gifts. Now I have $1,300 in that account that I did not have to earn. It just showed up in that account. This is the account that holds my emergency fund, so 6 months of my husband's income, and it also holds our various sinking funds. We have a lot of different savings goals that we have saved for over the years, and we can contribute to them monthly if we want to bulk them up a little bit more, but right now they're basically just chilling in there earning interest. That is free money just for keeping money in that account. It's literally just like a savings account at your regular bank, but you earn more money for the money that you're keeping there. And now that it's December, I can go ahead and pull that money out of the gift sinking fund, transfer it over to my checking account, and spend that money on Christmas gifts.
Okay, again, this person has a unique way of going about buying Christmas gifts. I'm not really mad at it. This one I think is even better than the other person where she has a budget and she puts money away, or the two people who talked about having a budget where they stack cash away throughout the year to use during the holiday season. Cool. They're not using debt. A1 to them, no debt use. Beautiful. This person took it a step further. Not only is she not using debt, she's not using money that she had bookmarked or earmarked for other things. Instead, she's using the interest on her high yield savings account to buy the gifts. Now that's smart, because with that, you're not taking money that would have been better served to pay off debt or do something else. You don't have the opportunity cost of that thing to buy Christmas gifts. Instead, you're taking interest from money that you have sitting anyways and using that. Now that I think is a smart way to go about it. So I'll give this person credit for that. Hopefully she's taking into account taxes, because the money you earn on a high yield savings account is taxable. And I'm not a tax accountant. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CFA or whatever. So I'm a guy on YouTube that knows a little bit about personal finance. So don't quote me, but personally, I pay taxes on my high interest I pay taxes on the money I've earned from my high yield interest account as well. So I always set aside, actually I have a separate account within my bank account that literally is for interest. I keep saying interest. That's literally for taxes that's earned on the interest that I get. Good old Uncle Sam. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. So with that being said, I really appreciate you for hanging around with me. If you got any enjoyment from the video, I'd appreciate it if you give me a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you got any value from the video, whether it's entertainment or anything else, feel free to subscribe if you're so inclined. And until next time, make smart financial decisions.